Still, not a lot of damage. The armies are annihilating each other relatively effectively. We have some melting points. We have a Vulcan, Steel Walls, Wraith. I think the Wraith is just there to sell, I would guess. Yeah, because if I decide to take the melters, the Wraith is gone. Even the Marksman would take the Wraith out fairly quickly. Still, Marksman not leveling. He finally throws down another one and puts range on him. Now they outrange my Marksman, and that's going to be a source of experience. If it works. The Sledges here now get mech rage. They already have high range, so why would I need anything else? I decide to just drop some additional marksmen because I really don't know what else my opponent is going to do here. And marksmen should be a catch-all solution in a way. Also, symmetry. And I throw down elite on them because now there's a very decent amount of them. And this way they are going to stay a bit further away from the Sledges. The Sledges are going to move up faster and the marksmen are going to stay further behind. I think this is good. There is a very good amount of leveled tanks moving in. This big Giga tank as well. Somehow today I'm feeling like the word Giga. I don't know why, but I am going to. I'm going to use that word a lot more. Still, the Scorpions with range and the better chaff clear that my opponent has gotten, along with levels on the Stormcrawlers, are now capable of making short work of large parts of my army on the left. However, on the right there still is a blob of units just moving in. Scorpion tanks for the marksman. And that marksman gets to kill a very high level one. Tower goes down on my side this time around, which means that this time it's cleanup time for my opponent, despite from my own thoughts me putting down some pretty big moves here, like elite on the marksman, mech rage on the Sledges, and still it didn't work out. We have a nuke coming down or a smoke bomb. The nuke I think was too expensive for me, so I dropped the smoke if I had to guess. He is, however, first thing throwing down shields, which is totally reasonable. I'm still thinking about what to do here. Ultimately, I would very much so like to ride these Sledges without range before putting it on them, but I think I have to throw range on them. And I also throw down electromagnetic shot, because I need to disable the attacks on these Scorpions, otherwise they are going to kill me very effectively. I don't take the tank levels. Oh, actually I do. I sold the big saber and drop more Sledges and Sledge levels instead. I guess that is a good move. I just can't resist more Sledges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packs right now. There is 4 Scorpions for my opponent. But once EMP hits, these Scorpions are actually pretty much worthless. Arclights also get EMP'd. EMP is a really big move and range only makes it worse. So I am expecting to win pretty big here. Shields have kind of gone down. Marksmen are targeting the opponent's units from really far away, but at the same time, these marksmen still outrange my own. My own marksmen have elite, but they do not have the range upgrade as well. Shield in the middle is about to get destroyed and the tower falls just as I am pushing the Stormcrawlers, but the Stormcrawlers are still alive and kicking. It ends up being quite a bad round for me. My tanks get cleaned up and basically I expect my entire opponent army to level here. Well, not the entire army. There was a speed spec that I picked because it's pretty good. My opponent also picked speed spec, but I really don't know why. His army has the range in a way. He has the marksmen, he has the Scorpions, he has the Stormcrawlers most of all. So why exactly is he picking speed? I don't know. Maybe it's for the Scorpions? Anyway, I'm throwing down temp range now because I just need the range. My opponent is going for the EMP on the Stormcrawlers. Now sabers would be good with photon and missile interception. I do also get my marksman range this round, so now my marksmen are going to outrange his marksmen and not by a little bit. On level 3 it's 15 meters difference. What did he do? I think he bought another Stormcaller on this side. He did go for the MP, which was expensive, but I don't see anything else that he's really gotten. What did he do with his money? I don't see more marksmen. Maybe he just threw down a lot of levels this time. I think that's the correct guess, if I had to guess. I mean, I can just watch the footage again, but, you know. Anyway, these sledges get turned off, and that is a pretty big move for my opponent. The sledges without techs are way more scary than with techs. But they are still well more than capable enough to EMP everything that my opponent has. There's an absolutely massive blob of sledges moving in. And this is not going to be enough Stormcallers to deal with it, especially when both towers fall at the side at the same time. My army puts him, well, if another round like that happens, at death's door. There's phoenixes or sandworms being offered. Opponent picks a sandworm and sells it and now gets overlords. Overlords into the marksman probably is not the best move. I've decided to sell the fire badges instead. He now has photon on the overlords, and that can definitely help against the EMP sledges. If he can keep his scorpions alive and have them eat the sledges, my army is going to evaporate much more quickly than you would assume. He's also starting to buy out and gets elite on the arc lights. I guess every bit of sledge killing power helps a bit. So I'm pretty sure that is a waste of money. I decide that it is time to throw down the final tech on the sledges. So let's check these level 5 sledges here. They already have top damage in the game. And they suddenly start hitting for 7,500 damage. Meanwhile, the marksman that is behind them, it's also the highest level marksman, is hitting for almost 25k. So these sledges in a salvo have more damage than the marksman on level 5. Which is crazy. The boats only exist for the photon. You can see how easily they are just getting destroyed once any of the marksmen starts locking onto them. Let alone 2. Or 3. My opponent has a very severe chaff clearing problem right now. And at the end of the day, I think the quad tech sledges just push in. This should be in the end. Yeah, this is the end. I thought the game was longer, but I guess it just was long enough for all of these sledges to tear everything apart. The overlords with the photon were a cute move. Alright. Let me see if I can fix this for my opponent and find some way to win. Alright, the last few times I tried to make sandworms work, but I think there's just way too much damage on the board for low-level sandworms. What might work instead, though, is another overlord push. So what I think I will do is I will get these phoenixes instead and throw them on the side. I guess I don't even need to overlord push necessarily. I can just kind of phoenix push. I'm definitely going to need like 2 packs of wasps in front of that. Because once again there only is marksmen to defend here. And then throw a mobile beacon this way. And see if I can get that dealt with. And at the same time, I think, since I didn't shield, going for oil is actually a good move. I threw it way too far up front last time. Let's do this. And definitely fire on the Stormcallers in combination with that. Throw a level on this Stormcaller. I can't really do anything to the marksman to make them effective. Well, actually, I can sell the Scorp here. Then I have the money for this and for this. And that is hopefully going to get something done. Alright, let's see. Maybe this is too far forward, actually. We'll see. The fire badgers don't ignite it here. But this should be successful. Yeah, this is already wildly successful. Oof! And the fire ignited. Now, technically, this is a ton of DPS on the sledges, but they're gonna die super slowly. I think it might actually be working out, though. If all of the marksmen die, there's nothing to shoot down the phoenixes. Ay. That would have been a very painful way to take damage. I'm not necessarily sure it would have killed me, but this is definitely how you win this. way more effective than the sandworms ever were. At least low-level sandworms. Yeah, this would have been a lot of damage, but it would also have been a kind of one-time trick. But I guess you've got to do what you've got to do. Does he have jump drive? Nah. So you can't try to do the same thing from the other side. That would have been a hard commit. Anyway, it is one way to win it. I only needed like 4 attempts. Yeah, just the marksman here. Just this. It's not a very diverse board. It's basically just chaff, marksman, and the big giga sledges. But they don't really do much against this. All right. Thanks once again, everybody, for watching and listening. And I hope to see you next time as well.